Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is the Boom Ball right here on your Boom Radio NG. It is TGF edition, and today we're going to be talking about quite a number of things. So, talking about a lot of entertainment stories, sports stories, politics, elections, security, and everything else in between. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show with us. Today is going to be a very interesting one. And if you're just joining us for the very first time, welcome. I bid you a warm welcome to the bar today. My name is Oladoluko, and with me in the studio is Shola Rogers.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank God it's Friday. New Music Friday. Let's go.
Alrighty, so we're going straight into the gist for today, and there's quite a number of things to talk about. The Anambra elections is coming up. That's the first election that's going to happen under the new INEC chairman. So that will say that that's a litmus test. Russia is also talked about the U.S. threats on Nigeria. We're going to be talking about that. Kanu to have a verdict, and there's a lot of back and forth. Anyway, because it's Friday, yeah, we're going to start on maybe a little bit more lighter note. We're going to go back, we're going from the front to the back or back to the front, or however we want to write that. But anyway, starting from a few gist. This is an update from something that we had been talking about, I think since last week, where Mr. What's his name now? Okay, you had added. Okay, Mr. What's his name? Pretty Mike. Yes, Mr. Pretty Mike had been arrested, and I remember was talking about it, that it looks like he seems to be. They really mean this is matter. So at this point now, it's official. He's now been granted bail, and you wonder, this had taken quite a number of. You would not expect that he should still be in jail this much, this long, but apparently the man has been in jail, and now he's now officially been granted a 50 million naira bail. And I remember the last conversation we had about this matter was the fact that there's a court process already that is looking at his club being interimly forfeited to the government.
I'm surprised that you're talking about how you didn't expect him to still be locked up by now. I was wondering what you were thinking, because if what they have alleged is true,
isn't
that the standard? Like, forget the fact that this person is popular. Yeah, you can call him a celebrity. Yeah, by Nigerian standards, he is popular. Owns a nightclub now. He used to be a guy that would come to parties, in different ways. I used to find some of them extreme, but I used to find some of them very creative also. However, is that why it should have been let go of, even regardless of the grave allegations against him? Because if what they're talking about is that his joint is like a place where drugs have been sold en masse, or it was having a drug party like it's been alleged, why would they let him work? Do you understand? It's like you have a kingpin now, not just the foot soldiers. Why would you let him work? Except he's maybe got, if like they say, even your boo get a boo. So maybe even him being allegedly a drug dealer has his own organs too. But regardless of that, it's good to see when the law does not, bow to whims and caprices of people solely because they're popular. But if he's also innocent, it would be nice for him to be, treated as such.
Yeah. Anyway, just wanted to put up that update. But we're going straight into something that the federal government, after the Federal Executive Council meeting yesterday, had announced. They're talking about establishing a presidential task force on 30 December to coordinate interagency efforts and enhance Nigeria's global image as a festive destination. And I remember seeing a video. I remember I had that conversation with you. I saw a video where a particular lady, who's obviously Nigerian but does not live in Nigeria, was complaining about how it was so either very difficult to get tickets to Nigeria, to Lagos specifically, for December. 2 reasons: because the dates that you want is either taken up, or the days that are available, they're really expensive. And we all know that airline tickets is really about demand. So she had to go all the way to Air Morocco. She was saying even Air Peace is not even possible. You think that, oh, Nigeria airline, no, it does not. And I'm like, oh, so it's not longer, looks like it's no longer just a Lagos thing now. It's becoming, for even the Federal Executive Council to be in on it at the moment now. And it's the first week of November.
30 December is the longest party in the world, because as people who live in Nigeria, who live specifically in Lagos, you know, it's party after party after party. And this is people like us that don't really party like that. Oh, you understand? We don't. You get, you know, I'm not really social like that.
You're not?
Yeah. So, but for the...
He said it's not social. Okay.
For the more party people, yeah, it's an entire month of parties. It's even started already in November. And that shows there's something huge going on. It's a massive commercial venture now, and it's many things to many people. I would have expected, you know, I would have thought that by now the government, Lagos, federal, and even the other states would have started this process earlier. For instance, there's nothing wrong. It's just like when you are having a mass movement of people, like at the World Cups now or Olympics, there's special arrangements for special flights.
Yeah.
So there's really nothing wrong if they had started projecting in advance that nobody should be left behind. Do you get? So instead of the regular surge in December, do a double capacity building for that. You get?
I get your point now.
And it will be massive, you know. Also encourage people who are Lagosians to tap into that wave. Some of you who will not be around, you can rent your homes out for Airbnb and all of that. People do that during the World Cup and do that during the Olympics. You know, then the hotels, you know, you talk to them and all of that. Basically, have a coordinated effort towards maximizing the entire season.
Yeah, it's interesting though, but I really like the fact that we're at a point where it's becoming a thing. I think December was always a thing, and I would not say that maybe in the north. I think December generally is end of the year for everybody, but when it comes to the south, the southwest, the southeast, it's a thing. It has always been a thing, really. Even the south, it has always been a thing. Christmas period. But I like the fact that in the past 2-3 years, we've now going to a point where these things have now become like extremely it has now been hugely blown up to what we have right now. It's really nice.
A lot of that is, you know, attached to Nigeria's recent successes on the international entertainment scene, you know, especially the music also, because the music stars have actually gone out and done us proud, and they're all on tour, and they usually just culminate in coming back home right about that time too. Look at Davido. Is on a tour of Nigeria. He's had 3 fantastic shows. You get, there's gonna be Ibadan this weekend, and he's gonna have the 5th one in Lagos.
I think I was even reading something that there are a lot of people that even in Ibadan are complaining that there were not a lot of people that they could get tickets. They were having serious issues with getting tickets, and like that's how much people really wanted to come, and now they have to find a way to get people to come. So they had, even at designated bus parks and all that, you can actually, there is now at that point where the website is crashing, so you have to and I think it's a very good thing. And you know, it's maybe is maybe he's doing is more elaborately. Most of the time, what established Nigerian artists do is that they come back to Lagos. But I like the fact that it's not just, we're now expanding it, and it's no longer just a Lagos thing anymore. It's such a beautiful thing to it's such a beautiful thing to see it, or to witness. Let me put it like that. It's really such a beautiful thing to witness. Anyway, moving on from that quickly, we're also talking about how Guinness World Records, there are quite a number of them that looks like Nigerians are not stopping at this point. Before, I would say that I was maybe part of the school of thought that, okay, Nigerians, once Nigeria, we're at the point where once we stick to something, we're never even getting, we're not going to hear the end of it, and we'll keep going on and on and on and on and about the same thing. But I like the positive image these things are giving Nigeria, and I might be wrong, but maybe that's my own thought process. But now the federal government of Nigeria, speaking about that, the federal government has announced the plan to set a Guinness World Record for the longest dining table.
All right, so tell us more about it.
It says it's supposed to be part of an upcoming Oriki Taste of Culture Gastronomy Festival that is supposed to be December 6th, 2025. This is talked about by the Director General of National Institute of Hospitality and Tourism. So they're saying that the record-breaking table will stretch about 3.6 kilometers long to seat up to between 2,000 and 3,000 guests. So what they're saying is that this table is supposed, everybody that they're inviting for that event will sit on the same table.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's a very creative way of bringing more awareness to Nigeria's tourism industry. I'm sure it's going to happen somewhere in Abuja.
Yeah, it's in Abuja.
I guess as much. And December, Dirty December. So it's another part of the entire month-long party that Nigeria has become. Like they do in Spain during the summer, or Portugal, where it's party after Ibiza. Everybody's partying, morning, noon, and night. So, fantastic concept and driven by government. I hope that they have everything in place. And I hope they actually pull it off, because Nigeria needs all of that. We need to promote other aspects of our revenue generation beyond oil. And tourism, I've always felt, and I know if Lupo shares the sentiment, that we've not done enough in that regard. Nigeria has beautiful sites, and you need to create more awareness. This is a good way to do it.
This definitely is a very good way to do it.
I know that Sheung Oloketui, he organizes the Best of Nollywood Awards, is also planning something that maybe like the longest red carpet or something like that.
Oh yeah, I think I saw that news a few weeks ago too. So that's really nice. Everybody's and I like that at this point in time there's a lot of awareness with entertainment and all at the end of the year, so it's a very good time to actually just key into all these things at the same time. So very interesting conversations that we're definitely going to be coming up with. We're going to be seeing more of these things. I hope that these things are not just talk, they're actually put into fruition, and we see
and done well.
Yes, very organized.
Don't want to get there and they'll be like, oh, the table is set but there are no chairs.
The table did not break. Yeah,
or there's
broke his one place.
Or there's not enough food for the guests. Or the rice no sweet. That happened somewhere recently. I mentioned no names.
If rice is not sweet, you eat it like that. You have rice in your house.
Is the quantity that matters, not the.
That everybody gets, whether it's sweet or not.
Nigerians are terrible people. Somebody was trying to set record. They gave you rice. You went home to be criticizing.
You're criticizing it.
You know if you recook the rice.
You think it's not sweet? You to add maggi in your house
and salt.
Please, they will start that one. So
please get it right, Nihot or Nihot or whatever their name is.
Yeah. Anyway, the police. Now that sadly, I don't want to call it sadly, but I think that the new format of the Champions League has maybe watered down the excitement that comes with Europa and Conference League. Not like the Conference League there was anything. In fact, I'm sure the only reason why a few people followed the Conference League last season was because Chelsea was in it. And now, take for example, there are, I think, about 6 teams in the Premier League that are in Champions League. There are quite a number of them. I think there are about 5 from the La Liga in the Champions League as well. So even teams that you would have normally thought maybe would now have fallen to the Europa League are really not at the Europa League at this point. So I think that it's a bit of, it has watered down a bit of excitement to it. You don't even hear a lot of people talk about the Europa League, talk less of the
one of the exciting things that the Europa League had was that there's a time when teams drop from the Champions League
yes,
to Europa.
Exactly.
And that actually brought a lot of excitement also that, you actually are out of the big one, but you are in good stead to win.
Now, once you're out of the
one.
Champions League, you're out.
So all of that also culminates in, making it less interesting. So UEFA have their work cut out for them because they can't do without those tournaments.
Yeah, and then you have Champions League spread out over 2 or 3 days, and then you now cram the whole of the European Conference into one day and all that. Anyway, because I talked about that, I actually spoke about that because there was Europa League match yesterday between Aston Villa and Israel's Maccabi Tel Aviv in Birmingham. However, there was demonstrations that popped up yesterday, talking about protests against Israel and back and forth, and the police there had announced that they had arrested about 11 people, which they said that because it became a very heated demonstration before the game started.
A lot of people didn't even want that game to go ahead. There have been protests and talks of protests for weeks. Even as soon as the fixtures were announced, you could hear people talk about how they didn't want the Israeli team to play and all of that. But I'm like, aren't they playing in other countries? Why is there so much noise about them playing in England? And I actually really wish that we had the ability to separate sports from politics. But sadly, I don't think it's possible, But, I look at it from the angle of the sportsmen themselves and how that's how they make their living, feed their families and all of that, and the excitement that sports brings. So this game is even more talked about now, not for the fact that Villa had a fantastic game or not. It's actually more about what happened outside the stadium.
Exactly. Quite a number of that also, to think that Crystal Palace also had a fantastic game yesterday. They won 3-1 with their game, but nobody's talking about that. Anyway, still talking about football officials. 18 people have said to have been arrested in Turkey in a probe into referees suspected of betting on football matches. And this, I think this is really horrible, because at this point, you would think that referees are supposed to be the ones that are held with the highest esteem. They're supposed to be very neutral and all that. But if they're the ones betting, meaning that, and they are the ones that also control the game. So that now goes back to a lot of games were probably being upturned. A lot of decisions were being upturned because they had already bet on these games. And there's so much scandal around the Turkish leagues.
Jose Mourinho was coaching there for a year or 2 or 3. His shelf life is 3 years. And he actually complained and he was fined. Now it's justified, isn't it? Mm-hmm. When you have 18 referees arrested, even chairman of a Division 1 club
was also,
one of the referees was said to have bet over 1,000 times.
Oh yeah, I think in all there were about 21 people that were arrested, but there were actually 17 or 18 referees out of that mix. So it is scary. It is scary.
There's a lot of dark shadow over the Turkish league now, saying that the results are not what they seem to be.
Expect it to
now,
be.
it's not to take anything away from the big boys, the Fenas and the Galas of the world, but the entire league is tainted now. How they're going to clean it up, I don't know. It's really, really sad. And man, major league referees involved, that's sad. Just 2 weeks ago, we're talking about, betting in the NBA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And even one of the guys have come out to deny, any knowledge of gambling or betting or whatever. And, so as we proceed, we are worried that the beautiful game that we think, oh, this was a good game, might actually have been rigged.
And speaking of referees, we're coming down to Nigeria, where even a lot of people were complaining yesterday. Now, even the NFF has now written to CAF talking about the nationalities of the referees that have been announced for Nigeria's playoff game against Gabon.
Yeah, it really doesn't make any sense that Nigeria was in the same group with South Africa and Benin Republic, and Nigeria is going to play the World Cup playoffs. Benin did not get to go because Nigeria beat them.
Yeah.
Then you are now bringing officials from those countries.
Yeah.
To
NFF
officiate.
went to the extent that the South African FA chairman had talked about how he doesn't want Nigeria to go to the World Cup.
Yeah, they said a lot of things like that. Even their coach said things too. So, does it make any sense? What's FIFA trying to do? Or are you also...
Anyway,
are you talkish in nature?
Talking about controversy and talking about FIFA. So, two things. I have two different conversations about that. First, FIFA. FIFA announced that there is a new peace prize that's going to be awarded during the World Cup draws. It's the first time this is ever happening. However, there's a lot of speculation that looks like Gianni Infantino wants to give that peace prize to Donald Trump.
Gianni.
Now,
why did you call him Gianno?
Gianni.
If I do or make innocent mistakes like this now,
it's an innocent mistake. It wasn't. No, you don't make those innocent mistakes. No, you don't.
Me, I'm always insinuating.
No, oh yeah. You're
Am
the
I that
king of
perfect?
that. Oh, you're the king of that. Trust me, you are the king of that, and I always see through you. Thank you very much.
Forgive you.
Anyway, Gianni Infantino has now come out. He had said he was that, and is going to be announced in December during the December 5 draws. Now, what the conversation is now is that Mr. Donald Trump really wants a peace prize so badly. Remember, there was the campaign about the Nobel Peace Prize and how obviously that did not happen. But in my head, I'm like, what's FIFA's business with peace prize?
So during the Club World Cup, they had one official from America. I don't know if he's their president or not. I don't know. Who was there handing medals also. And he almost kind of took one medal for himself. Almost. I didn't say he did though. Then they were now like, give them trophy now. In the entire history of sports, when you hand the trophy to the winning team, you step away.
No.
You walk away.
No.
You don't go there doing...
Yeah, I mean for human being.
What was the guy saying? Like, you give me back the trophy. You cannot take it away. I brought it. They brought it for me. That guy needs a trophy.
He does.
So, I think Gianni understands it.
Like, you know what?
As much as it
is laughable. It is laughable.
To the whole concept of football giving peace.
No, what the hell is peace prize?
Gianni. Make I no talk. But what it is that I think is a dumb thing by FIFA and its president. But everybody's entitled to their beliefs and their views. And in my own view, I think it's dumb.
Anyway, talking about controversy, before we leave the matter of sports, one controversy that seems to have gotten a lot of attention on social media in the past few hours is the fact that this is the Premier League, as Mr. Ruben Amorim got Premier League manager. Why do I keep saying player? Manager of the month over Mikel Arteta, and that seems to have caused a lot of controversy. However, if you look at the list this month, 3 of the people that were on that list won all their games. But the conversation is for a month that Arteta won without conceding a goal and even I think no shot on target or something, that isn't that a more impressive win than just winning your 3 games?
Okay.
Yeah, that's
So what's the question?
the question. Like, why? What's the if we really look at it, is it just about fans voting, or is about?
So how are the
stats?
winners picked?
I don't know.
Exactly. So if we don't know how the winners are picked,
I think people get to vote or something.
who are the people that get to vote?
People, they send to you now. You can actually vote for it.
Okay, so if that is the case, then there's no talk. Do you understand? There's really no talk. If it is a fan-based thing, if it's not a technical committee that's picking, if it's not the other coaches and other captains and players that are picking the winner, then there's no controversy, because any of those three guys deserve to win. That's what it means. And maybe more people that maybe support that person or believe in that person more, or just felt it deserved it more. You know, you can go on and look at it from different perspectives. Arteta has built the well-oiled machine that Arsenal has become. There's no team in Europe at the moment that comes close. Maybe Bayern, but we'll find out very soon when they go head-to-head. However, Amorim is turning around one of the worst situations ever, from a team that people had predicted that would go on relegation this season. A lot of people wrote them off. And look at the teams that they've played. They played tough teams. They played Arsenal. They played Liverpool. They played Man City. Then he ends up amassing this amount of games and points. He probably deserves it more than anybody else, because it was an hopeless situation.
But keep in mind, these
I'm
other
just
people
analyzing from this
play Champions League. People play
it doesn't
EFL.
It's not about Champions League. This is about the Premier League.
Yeah, but they played 3 games in a season, in the month. Some people played as much as 6 games.
It doesn't matter. That has never been the bone of contention. You see, you go into a season with a minimum of 25 players that you are ready to play as many games as possible. So it's never been. In fact, this is the first time in my entire life that someone is saying that it's because some people are not. That's nothing. It doesn't matter.
I think it does, because they're actually they're more. The players that we're seeing here are more stressed.
Okay.
They're playing more games. Are we going to say that it doesn't matter? Someone plays 3 games, and another plays 6 games, all in the same month.
All right.
Okay. I'm just saying. It's just an opinion.
Yeah,
like,
my opinion too. I said mine already, and I've listened to yours. So okay.
Okay. Anyway, still talking a bit of controversy. Another conversation is the interview that Mr. Ronaldo put out, I think, with Piers Morgan, and the conversation around it is the fact of how part of that interview was Messi was dragged into that conversation, and how it seemed like Ronaldo had a way of what's the word now? Of downplaying everything that Messi has done.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Like, that's the controversy. Like,
who's saying this?
No, there's a lot.
I saw the interview, so I don't.
There's a lot.
I don't think that interview was about Messi.
I said a part of the interview.
Yeah, so I'm wondering why that is the crux.
Yeah, that's what is got a lot of people talking about, how he said, oh, he doesn't see there's a big deal about Messi winning the World Cup. Argentina has won it a couple of times before, so it's not a big deal. And I'm like, okay, it's okay to be rivals, but at this point, I think that you do not have a World Cup, so you can't say that somebody as when he won it when he was there is not a big deal. Okay,
so the your parameter now, your yardstick is that before I can speak my mind about something, I should have done it before.
No, I think that you don't have to do it, but you also do not have to water down what somebody else is doing.
It's my opinion. It's my opinion. It's my view. For instance, if Cristiano Ronaldo says, Argentina have won several World Cups, so why is it a big deal? I don't see anything big there. Because yes, indeed, it is 2 facts.
It's not the same set of people that won those games.
Because it is Ronaldo that is saying it. That's why you're picking it up and saying, oh, it's a problem. You have not won World Cup. You shouldn't be saying it. he has done things too that other people have not done now. That doesn't stop them from criticizing him. You understand? I just think that I stand by my articles and videos I've made in the past. I think that there are two fantastic players, and I'm not going to pick sides on anyone. And I know that when you sit down with Piers Morgan and you are Ronaldo, you hardly grant interviews. And I saw the interview where he was like, I'm not going to hold back. I will speak. But that people had told him that he should hold back a bit, you get. Because the last time they had this interview was 3 years ago. It led to him leaving Man United after the interview aired, because he had said some things that were actually true. But people didn't like it then, talking about the condition of Old Trafford and other things. They didn't like it, and that's, Ronaldo for you. So, again, because he's a perceived rival of Messi, he cannot say it's not a big deal. I don't think so.
No, you can't say it's not a big deal.
In Dolupo's opinion and everybody else's opinion. I think that it is, in my opinion, which I am entitled.
Condescending.
Okay, yeah, condescending is a word that you have chosen. But in my opinion, I don't see a big deal in him saying it's not a big deal. This is my opinion. Am I supposed to drop my opinion now because you feel it's condescending?
I'm not.
So in my own opinion, I feel that Ronaldo haven't, played the game for so long and achieved so much
and won it, and it's not a big deal.
Okay, I'll still get my opinion through, even if you heckle me. Ronaldo haven't played the game for so long and achieved so much, should have an opinion. And if his opinion is this, then it is that, and time will tell. However, it was always going to be read that way, and I'm sure he knew it before he said it. But for me, I don't think it's a big deal. I think he's an amazing player. I think Messi is an amazing player. But yeah, did he lie? Argentina have won the World Cup before, so what's the noise about?
It's not the same players. People did
nobody
it in
comes.
Their own...
The sad thing is nobody comes to say it's not the same players. This is the first time I'm hearing a lot of firsts here today.
No,
for instance, England won the World Cup in 1966. And nobody will come and say England have not won it before. Because if they now win it, and somebody after you now say it's not the same player
in their own lifetime, people have won it.
But yes, the country
it is a big deal.
But it's the same country that has won it, and you now say it's not the same players.
I think it's a big deal. It's the same way.
Nobody is saying that it's not a big deal.
Okay, are we going to say that because of that reason?
Nobody. You see, you're twisting things. Nobody is saying winning the World Cup is not a big deal.
Oh no, Ronaldo said it's not a big deal.
Ronaldo said that they have won it before,
and so it's not a big deal.
And the funny thing is, if you're going to count countries that have won World Cup more than once, Argentina is on that list.
Yeah,
they won it more than once.
So
some countries have only won it once. Some have never even won a single game at the World Cup.
That's what makes it a big deal.
It's a big deal for everybody, but for Argentina, what's the noise? Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's go there.
Even if you're going to win it back to back to back, I think it's a big deal. It's the same way you win Champions League. Are you going to tell me that because Real Madrid has won it 15 times, if they win it again, it's not a big deal anymore?
Wallahi, it's not a big deal.
It's a big deal. I think it's a huge deal.
Wallahi,
everybody.
That's your example. Just seals the deal. If Real Madrid win it again, it's not as big as La Decima. La Decima was a song that was sung for years. La Decima, La Decima, La Decima.
Yes.
No, they had not won it. They were looking for number 10 and they searched for years.
That's what I'm saying.
Not because they won it, but because they wanted to win it.
They wanted to win it.
So now
it doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything. Okay.
I think that rubbish is the work that these players
it doesn't rubbish
at this
anything.
point
It doesn't there's nothing special anymore, except you want to do something great, like maybe you go the entire season without losing and winning. But you have won it the same fashion that other people have won it. Yeah, it's not a big deal. Yeah.
Okay. Everybody's opinion is
exactly
different, so. Anyway, let's come back to the conversation. A bit of conversation is that Mr. Paul Biya has also now been sworn in for the 8th term in Cameroon. I think it's about 92 or something. Interesting news coming from Africa. Anyway,
congratulations to the people of Cameroon. You had free and fair elections, and the best candidate won.
Yeah.
And guess what? Yeah. The U.S. embassy in Cameroon have already congratulated
Oh
him,
yeah.
You know,
The
so
US has congratulated
so-
them. I think Russia has.
and I think
no,
they
China.
are sorry.
has-
I think they are the gold standard when it comes to democracy. Yeah. So
Yeah.
congratulations.
Anyway, President Tinubu has banned the sale of FAAN property. They're saying that.
So FAAN is the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria. Because you might not get it if you're not a Nigerian.
So there are no selling of any of those things. However, the Minister of Aviation has also announced that after the Federal Executive Council meeting yesterday, there has now been approval for aviation security gadgets procurement all around the country. Also, they're talking about the Port Harcourt Airport concession also.
The thing about this directive is that it is it can be applied retroactively, Abby. In
Retrospect.
like, sure, you get the can
Retrospectively.
move it back.
Why is retro and active?
Do you understand? So what it means now is that those of you people, whether you bought the land new or you colobi the land, because if you go to that Lagos airport, there's a particular part when you know this is encroachment par excellence.
Oh,
you are in trouble.
Okay. So now,
You are in trouble.
land that belongs to FAAN, if it was sold to you, is going to be
You
collected.
are in trouble.
Anyway, still talking about the Federal Executive Council. Also, they approved road projects worth over 400 billion naira. That's nice. Let's move on from that. But anyway, I wanted to talk about and this is still going on about the U.S. threat against Nigeria and blah blah blah. A few days ago, I think that was about 2 days ago, we talked about China talking about it and saying that everybody should respect the rule of law. Now Russia has also now urged U.S. to follow international law and that they're monitoring the situation and they don't see any reason why anybody should want to invade Nigeria, and that U.S. should follow international law and basically stay in your lane.
There was a briefing by the President of America yesterday, and they were talking about war, talking about whatever they wanted to do to Nigeria or in Nigeria, and in the process of that, one of the top officials collapsed. There's a picture, I don't know if you guys have seen it. That picture speaks a lot. There are people struggling to save someone's life, but there's one guy that just stands. He just stands and is looking, not moved. That's an aside. I didn't mention anybody's name. However, yesterday China spoke. Today Russia has spoken. Slowly and surely, the world is finding its voice. The Americans are constantly, if you're checking them, the Republican senators are constantly tweeting about this, putting out all sorts of support for their president, for the king of America, for the president of America.
And that's a mistake.
And it's interesting that they are all in support of something that is illegal. Very, very interesting. Now Russia is saying, follow the rules. China is saying, follow the rules. Nigeria is saying, if you want to help, come and help us. Let's talk about it. But you can't just come into our country because some people from some parts of Nigeria paid a lobbyist some money, and he said he was going to do this. He put it on his website last year that he was going to use the Christian angle, and they got to you. I just keep wondering, like, this is the country that has the highest number of what's it called now, intelligence gathering systems, right?
Anyway, we definitely would see where all this conversation is going to, but let's come back to Nigeria and let's talk about things that are affecting us, like right here. First things first, this is more of an aside. NAPTIP announced they rescued 221 victims this year from human trafficking in Jigawa state alone. I think that's a very commendable thing. As sad as it might be, like you're wondering, like, why is this amount of people that are being trafficked? Sad truth is that there are probably a lot more than that. But we're also not going to take away the good work that NAPTIP is doing to be able to at least reduce the number of trafficked people.
Congratulations to the people who have been rescued, and well done to the agency that has done this through the years. And there's probably more that even you and I could do if we are aware we are alive, not aware now, alive to the fact that it's not only government that is saddled with the job of protecting, life and property. But shout out to NAPTIP for, the people that they've rescued, and to those in captivity, I hope that they will find freedom.
Okay, now let's go on straight and let's talk about what is going to be happening tomorrow. Boom, 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 boom. Now, for people that do not know, there are elections that are happening tomorrow. Gubernatorial election is happening tomorrow, and it is Anambra State. From Anambra State, there's so many elections that are going to it's the governorship election that is happening tomorrow, that brought that the election that is going to bring in a new governor or is going to return the old governor that they had. And it's gotten a lot of attention, especially when this what do they used to call it, off-cycle elections. Number one, because there's a new INEC chairman, so it's a litmus test for him. Number two, there are a lot of candidates. There are about 16 candidates. Number three, there was a particular candidate that got a lot of post attention about 2 weeks ago on this matter. So there's been a lot of different angles to where, and also the conversation of security or insecurity and the voter apathy. Anambra State seems to have, if we look at the numbers, as sophisticated as we say that some of the election results or some of the election patterns might be, it might also not be true, the true reflection of the people's, because the people's wishes, because of the huge voter apathy. Right now, I'm looking at the election that brought in Charles Chukwuma Soludo in 2021, and if I am correct, the total votes that brought him in last 4 years was 112,229 votes. The total votes, basically, the total votes for the whole election last year was 200 and last 4 years was 241,523. It's not up to 300,000.
So that's less than 10% of the registered voters for this election.
Yes.
They have about 2.8 million registered voters in Anambra State. Voter apathy is a global phenomenon. I don't know. I think only India had some major breakthrough with their last elections where they had a lot of people come out. Even America has the same problem where they don't have enough people coming out to vote. So for the youth in Anambra, and even just everybody that's an Anambra person, this is actually your time to put your voice out there, and make it count. If someone became governor with 100 and something thousand votes,
less than 200,000, and everybody that voted, they're not up to 300,000.
Which means that if double the number of those people come out this time, and he gets the same number of votes he got before, he could lose.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That as much as we talk about it, Anambra,
it's an all-comers
it's a very small number, so we can't even totally have that conversation that they're very sophisticated. It might just not be that there are a large chunk of people that are not voting.
So you could actually do what you're supposed to do, and there's a candidate, Chioma, that is of Showore's party. that, she's a woman.
You know that you're not supposed to be campaigning.
I'm not campaigning. I'm telling them that there's a candidate that's a woman. You have not even let me finish what I'm saying.
What are you? What did I want to say?
Are you me? So
I know what you want to say. Okay, go ahead.
So there's a candidate that is a woman. She's so pretty. She's very lively. I saw her campaign. She was dancing. She danced a lot. Danced and danced and danced.
Okay, are we going to move on from this dancing?
No, we won't, because she danced very well. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that in a level playing field, anybody can win. Anybody can win. And in the last 3 years, I won't say 4, in the last 3 years, I have followed Anambra a lot, like a lot. And I think, in my own opinion, that the incumbent has done the most of any governor that they've had in the history of the state, in my opinion. And I have a feeling that based on that alone, I think Soludo will do a second term. This is my opinion.
Yeah, funny enough, I think.
But shout out to Chioma.
I think I have a bit of a separate opinion about. Do I think he's going to win?
That's how it should be.
Do I think he's going to win? Yes, I think he's going to win. And why? Because I think that the Anambra people are maybe they're more sentimental to his party. I do not see that changing anytime soon. It could change. We never can say, but at the moment there are about 16 of them. There is Governor Soludo from Abia. There's Prince Nicholas Ukachukwu for the APC. There's Paul Chukwuma from YPP. There's John Nwosu from the ADC. And I think it's also a litmus test for a lot of parties. Take, for example, the ADC. Labour Party also has a candidate, George Mogalu. There is Echezona Oti for MPP. There's Chioma Ifeme Ludike. That's the AAC.
Fantastic candidate.
Can I continue?
Don't.
Jeff Nweke of the AA. Charles Onyeze of Accord Party. NNPP has Geoff Onyejebu and Jude Ezenwefo of the PDP. It's interesting that we don't know what's going to happen to the PDP.
There's Vincent Chukura of the Social Democratic Party. You will not leave out that party.
I'm not leaving them out. There's Boot Party as well. There's ZLP that is going to come out. There's NRM also. There's APP. So it's actually a large chunk.
Shout out to Chioma of Showere's
What
party.
are we doing?
I'm just giving her a shout out. It's radio. We give her a shout out. Radio shout out,
that is actually one less party from what we saw last 4 years. There were about 17 parties last 4 years, but we will see. I'm actually looking forward to see what is going to come of the PDP. It's going to come of the ADC, what they're going to do from this. I think is a huge litmus test. Take, for example, do I think the APC is going to win? No, I'm not sure. Even they know they're not going to win, but do I think that Governor Soludo might win? Yes.
So this is the home state of Peter Obi, and of course he has endorsed the Labour Party candidate.
Yeah. So let's see.
He's also in a partnership with the ADC. So you would have thought that they would have had one of them step down for the other, so that they will get more votes rather than split their votes. But no, they are not doing that. Politically, I think that's insanity, but maybe just maybe they know what
they're doing. Yeah.
So by this time on Sunday,
we should be able to know.
We'll start knowing if they really do.
And I'm sure that by Monday, at least finally, we'll know who the next
sometime
governor
in the middle of the night
Anambra is. Anyway, still talking about politics. At this moment, it's about the PDP, and I'm genuinely confused.
Which of the PDPs?
Exactly. That's why I'm genuinely confused. A few hours ago, the acting chairman of the PDP that we had known before, Umar Damagum, had talked where he was having a meeting with party's state chairman, was talking about disloyalty and warning about betrayal and about consequences and all that. Now, just a few hours after that, there is now another chairman acting national chairman in the person of Abdulrahman-Mohammed to have said that has elected Mao Ohabuna Bunwa as the chairman of the new board of trustees. The last we heard, I think Adolphus Wabara was supposed to be the head of those board of trustees. And I remember you had talked about this just 2 days ago, that it's obvious that it's going to have two factions. Are we now saying that it's official now? PDP now has two factions.
It is. We don't told you before, right? You all didn't listen.
Because I'm genuinely
First thing I want
confused.
to say is that I like the name Mao. You know, it has a nice ring to it. Mao.
What is
always
wrong
that's
with you?
That's the best part of this story, the name.
Gosh.
Now, to the reality of Nigerian politics, especially the way PDP is playing it, you guys need to put your egos aside, though. You all need to lock yourself up in one room and iron out issues and come back strong. Because in the next 2 or 3 weeks, another governor is leaving PDP. In the north this time.
Yeah.
So, look, tell yourself some own truth. Why do you have 2 chairmen now? Why do you have 2 secretaries? Why are you having a congress and court says don't have it, one court says you should have it? Let's be real with ourselves. You people are not serious.
You are not making sense at this point.
You are not ready. And it also shows that your party didn't really have any substance. It was just built on, the fact that you got quick results in 1999 and you were able to build on it.
So would we say that there were really not that much structures? Because really it's not the first time parties are having issues. Even the APC, we see how
joking
they've
right now?
evolved from
Are you joking? This is the same party where the bulk of the ADC just pulled out of PDP. This is the same party that has one of their biggest persons in Tinubu's government. This is the same party that at the last set of runoff elections had a good showing, even if they didn't really win the seats.
Yeah.
So what are we saying? What are you saying?
It's not looking good.
It's
really cannibalized the whole party. They have cannibalized it.
Still one of the strongest political brands. The most easily identifiable brand, the umbrella. You get the oldest surviving party in Nigerian politics, PDP. But
how long is it going to survive for?
That's why he's surviving. They are all greedy. Every single one of them. I'm not going to name names, but they know. So if they're serious, and I always say Nigeria needs a strong opposition. It's not this one. Some of the ones I'm saying now, they don't look real. Because let's be honest with ourselves. Again, back to Anambra, or even if we left it. If Peter Obi wants to be president and he cannot produce the governor of his state,
then what are we doing?
We need to start questioning it.
Yeah.
If the ADC is serious about taking over government from APC and they can't produce the next governor of Anambra,
of one state,
let's talk about it. Let's leave gist and talk brass tacks now. Because you're all going to be coming with sentiments and emotions all the time. But you had 4 years to campaign against Soludo and make sure that he doesn't get re-elected. And Soludo is even Apuga.
Makes it worse, yeah? To rub salt on injury.
So, ADC, Labour, is it? I know APC is not going to get anything. I'm sure that they can't win.
Oh, APC.
They can't win.
I'm sure they know they can't. They
can't win.
It will just not look like
they can't win in Anambra. I'm very sure. And I'm actually very sure that Soludo will win. Shout out to Chioma though.
Anyway, quickly before we go, a court has now fixed dates for November 20 for judgment in Kanu's matter. It looks like there's officially now going to be a judgment in that matter. Then we can move on to something else.
No, we won't be moving on, sadly. Nnamdi Kanu, was in court today when the judge said that they were fixing a date for his judgment, and he just went bonkers. He threw tantrums. There was a video. There was a time when he pushed. There's a DSS guy that moved up to him, maybe tried to restrain him from, going off on a tangent, and he actually pushed the guy.
Yeah.
I'm glad the guy restrained himself because that's professional. So the way I see it is that all of the shenanigans from Christian genocide.
Would we say that it's not working? That's what.
No, it is working.
What's what made him frustrated?
It is working, and everything he has done ties into it. It ties into it. Yesterday is former lawyer, because at least he let his lawyers go. Put out a letter by him addressed to Donald Trump, and saying that there are no charges, saying the court let him go, saying he attended Trump's rally during his first tenure when he was trying to be president the first time that he won, and all of that. Basically, everything ties together now. There's a group called AVID. They're Igbo veterans they are former vets in the U.S. Army who have been very, visible in the last 2 weeks, and they are also saying that they want Trump to establish a base in Port Harcourt, and that they know the topography. They will help him set it up, and they will help him with any other thing, and that Nnamdi Kanu has to be freed and all of that. So everything is tying together now. Everything is falling into place. So
my issue with that is, and which is why I don't understand this whole thing. Of course, we get it. Is that how is freedom of Nnamdi Kanu have to do with, even if there's a so-called Christian genocide in Nigeria? Do you understand my point? Like, make it make sense. Anyway, again, I'm saying that at this point, he probably didn't think he was going to stay this long, or maybe he thought that after governors and senators and everybody had talked about him, maybe he would have been released by now. Like I said, after the tantrum, the tantrum is out of frustration at this point. But we'll see what the court is going to say. I'm guessing that since it's not the Supreme Court, even if he has not been released, maybe he's going to go into appeal or whatever it is. But we'll definitely...
November 20 is Judgment Day, according to Justice Omotosho.
Yep.
And of course, Kanu does not agree. His supporters doesn't agree. I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again, because I see that he has a groundswell of support.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way you're going to jettison the laws of Nigeria because Kanu has this people supporting him.
Yeah, I get
the Showorers of this world and all these other supporters. So really and truly, can we ask ourselves, is this what we really want? Do the Igbos in Nigeria really, really want to leave Nigeria? Because if they do, there's no referendum in the Nigerian constitution, but there's a way they can achieve it legally, and that's for their elected officials. You see all these governors that are talking about release Kanu. They should be trying to sponsor a bill on constitutional amendment that would allow for them to talk about, voting if they want to stay in Nigeria or not. It can be done peacefully, and everybody can actually just go their way.
Anyway, on that note, that is all we have to take today on The Bar. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We'll be back again on Monday at 3 p.m. West African time to give you another wonderful edition of The Boom Bar. But for now, have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. The Boom Radio is still on. We're going to be having so much for you over the weekend. There's new music that is going to start from today. It's today, Saturday and Sunday at 5 p.m. West African time, and a whole lot of other things. Boom Radio NG is 24 hours. The Boom Bar is just going off for a bit, and we're coming back on Monday. Have a beautiful, beautiful weekend ahead.